everybody, and welcome to a brand new, exciting episode of How About That? I'm your host and producer here on the Manhattan Neighborhood Network, Vinnie Langdon, and I have a fun, exciting episode for you guys. I have two special guests for you that you both will love. And, the funny thing about this episode is I haven't seen any of them in almost 20 years, which is hard to believe. Time goes by fast, but you will enjoy their story because on this show, my whole purpose is to share with you guys different people's journeys. And when we talk about journey, you might think, traveling might be involved, and these people definitely have done some traveling. So I want to welcome Elena Leonova and Andrei Khvalko. How are you guys?
Good.
Hello,
Guys.
everyone.
Well, you guys are figure skaters, you're instructors, you're parents, you're coaches, and let's go ahead and get started. And Elena, you want to give us a little brief background on who you guys are for those who do not know?
Okay, well, I started skating when I was 5, and Andrei started skating when he was
almost 8.
Almost 8. We started skating in the country which is not exist anymore, Soviet Union. Okay, so we've been involved with the skating system. If you remember that time, the Soviet skating was one of the best in the world. Soviet team was one of the best in the world, and obviously the level of the skating, like right now, is very high as well. But I will feel like at that time, long time ago, it was even bigger, and it was very important, and sport was very important in this country as well. So we started skating there when we already finished our amateur career. I was 2-time world junior champion, national bronze medalist. Andrei won numerous international competition as well, and we lived in a very interesting time when the country collapsed. Okay, the Soviet Union was collapsed, and everything with this collapsed as well, including the sport. Okay, the ice rink was closing. People has no job. Coaches was leaving the country. They were trying to find the job anywhere, including United States. And we got together in a professional ice show, Tatiana Tarasova Ice Show, Russian All-Stars. We were traveling. First, I went to that show. Andrei joined me a couple of years later. And in 1995, while we were touring in England, that company declared basically bankruptcy. It was not bankrupt, but they asked us if we can find any other job. We better do it now. And this is when it came to our attention that many skaters was leaving to work to the United States with very famous company, Disney and Ice. And we sent, our video to directors, coordinators, and got hired to a show called Pocahontas on Ice, and as a professional pair team, as a principal pair team.
Wow.
And this is where in 1996. So the first year we were touring in Disney, it was really fun. We were touring in United States, everywhere. It was difficult too. It's a great school for the people who comes from other country to understand what is the actual business in United States. So understand what involves employer, what involves employees, medical insurance, workers' compensation, everything you need to know about American system, credit cards, accounts, taxes, local taxes, federal taxes, everything. So it was a really great school for us, for foreigners. After the first year in Disney, we went to visit our friend who lived in California. And we ended up buying a house in Fairfield.
Wow.
Near Fairfield.
Near Fairfield.
Yeah.
Near Fairfield.
Green Valley.
In Green Valley.
Right.
So this is how our journey to Vacaville Ice Arena started. It was not built yet.
Right.
But the second year we went on tour with Disney, and it was an exciting time for professional ice skating in the United States. There was a numerous touring Stars on Ice, Champions on Ice, small tours, great shows. And it was also a competition for professional skaters. And this is when we decided that we wanted to try to compete again, because we never compete before together as a team. So we decided to give it a chance and give it a try. So our first competition was US Open. It was televised on, I think, ABC at that time, in Cincinnati. And to be able to get to the Masters Tour, so it was a first tour and a second tour. For the first tour, you have to go past certain score to be able to get to their second tour, where most of the skaters, actually all of the skaters, excluding me and Andrei in pair skating event, we were invited after we passed the score. So we went to do with all these friends of ours who paid for that event to try on and see if we can do so, like if we really worth it, okay?
Sure.
So surprisingly, we got first place and we got the score. We passed the score. So we got invited in the second tour, the only team from their first tour. And we skate 2 programs of most incredible skaters, world champions on our side. And we won that competition as well.
Right.
And this is where we figure out there's something happened here. At this point, something was going on.
Andrei said, I better not get another partner. I better stick with her, right?
that's what exactly we
No, I
thought.
say like thanks God, you know, like you give me like best partner in the world, you know. Just
So and then at this point, we went back on tour and we got a phone call from well-known 2-time world Olympic champion Dick Button, who invited us to compete at World Professional Championship. But in a couple of years after that, we won 2 of the titles on the road. So we are 2-time world professional champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Elena, Leonova, and Andrei Khvalko.
違うパートナーと組んでたんですけれども、このカップルはプロになってから
満足でしょう。
The technical marks for Elena Leonova and Andrei Khvalko. 9.9, 9.9. 9.9, 9.9, 9.9, 9.9,
並びました。 9.9。さあ芸術点
10点は
The artistic
出るんでしょう
marks.
か。
出るでしょうね。
9.9,
おー出ました2
10,
つ目
9.9, 10,
3つ目
9.9, 10.
4つの10点2連
At the same time, I started to skate in Vacaville. The Vacaville was built. And we got to start to skate there. And it was an amazing place with amazing people and amazing coaches as well. I know some of the coaches still there, but most of them, of course, moving, you know, things changing around. And we're still friends. We still talk with Juliana, Katie, and with Marisol Brilliant. We are still communicating. We send the pictures of each other and our students. So that's when the time changing. The skating was very popular, still very popular. We did lots of different shows. We did competitions. We won numerous competitions. We skate all the different shows. Stars on Ice in Europe, a huge show, Prince Ice World in Japan for 8 years. We did lots of
Art on
Ice in Switzerland. We did Champions on Ice in the United States, just this winter tour. And obviously, because you are now working in New York and you're doing this show from New York, we love to skate in a Rockefeller Center. Yeah. We did a couple of the shows for USA Today in the morning. Good Morning America. Good Morning America. And we also did shows with Ice Theater of New York.
Very
and
cool.
Chelsea Pier and in the Rockefeller Center as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Very cool, exciting, and you guys had quite the journey, you know, from what it was known as the Soviet Union to coming to America and kind of, you know, migrating here and thinking this is our new home, this is where we want to stay, and you know, let's take it back because let my viewers know that how you and I know each other is, you know, my mom used to run the ice rink and every morning, early in the morning, well, to me it felt early, first thing in the
yes.
morning, I would see you guys, you know, training not just on the ice, but off ice too. And that was very important for you guys to, you know, develop, you know, your guys' partnership and prepare for all your dozens and dozens of ice shows. And, you know, I think that's very important. Now, for those who may not be, you know, familiar with the sport of ice skating, figure skating, hockey, or just being around an ice rink, you know, like you said, it wasn't really popular until the early 2000s, and then it, you know, skyrocketed. We have things like Disney on Ice where, you know, parents take their kids to and they just love it. But tell us, you know, the ice skating, you know, like Andrei, you said, you know, you skated around the age of 8 when you first were introduced to the sport. But for those who are even older, skating is such a great sport where you can be introduced to the sport at any age. Tell us more about that, guys, what you guys think.
Oh, well, you know, I feel like I'm just going to say first, and then Andrei will edit something. I feel like this is the greatest country here, and it's the greatest opportunity because, like you said, yes, you can start skating anytime you want. You can do adult skating. You can do, you know, sport. You can do the figure skating as activities. It's all different kind of sports. Okay. So what do you think? I think this is the great thing.
Yeah, it's very good. I like it. I like it, this system, because, you know, like, it doesn't matter, you know, like you're 5 years old or 10 years old, you know, like you can skate. You can like use like ice rink or like other equipments, you know, you have a chance here, you know. But
And a
choice, yeah. In Russia and Europe, it's a little bit different system. It like if you 8 or 10 years old, you're late. You know,
you're too late to start. Yeah, you're not gonna fit in the groups of the kids of the same age.
I like it more here because, you know, like everyone, you know, like you have a chance for everyone. You know, like.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's really cool. And as I said, it's all really different, you know. And when now, as we start teaching in the United States again, I always explain because it's about honesty as well. Honesty. When a person starts to skate at age 15, you're going to explain to him that what do you want? Do you want to just do recreational? Do you want to learn how to skate around the rink and become active? You might be wanted to learn a couple of the spins, couple of the simple jumps, or what do you want? And when they say, oh, listen, I wanted to go to Olympics, I will say, you know, it's about honestly, 15 years old, you better understand that you're never going to jump that triple jumps and quads. It's just the honesty. But you can always proceed to the competition. If you start at the age 15, there's an amazing competition for the kids and after for adults. There's a world championship when adults from around the world meet together. There's a huge competition in Canada. It's huge competition in the United States, huge competition in Germany. When we have some students who we teach in Russia who goes there every year to Oberstdorf in Germany. And it's the part of their life now. I don't think they're ever going to quit. Okay. Wow. They're already adults. They have kids. The kids already grow up. Some of them grandparents, and they're still skating because it's the love of their life now. Right. They cannot do anything without that thing. So I know how hard it was last few months for everyone sitting home without the ice rink. And I know for that people over there, they just dreaming to go back on the ice. Right. That's their life now.
Right. Now, talk to us. You did mention something interesting. You mentioned Olympics, and you guys are still coaching. You're still coaching students. And how does someone go about, with the sport of figure skating? How do they get to that level? What makes them different? What makes them qualify for the Olympics compared to your, traditional, ice skater? What makes them stand out?
Well, it's always start from beginning. The kids just, when they come to the ice rink, it's a love of the skating. Okay, so it's a love of the skating. Kids love to skate. It's lots of different aspects here. Like right now, what we're doing at our academy, we call it academy, the Garden Sports Academy at the Gardens Ice Arena in Laurel, Maryland. We create an academy. Basically what it is, it's a program. And that the program, there is a program which called Learn to Skate in the United States, and it's a learn to play for hockey players, learn to skate for ice skaters, and for hockey players. So let's give just basics. So when you bring the kids to the ice rink, they learn how to walk, they learn how to do swizzles, simple stroking, little jumps, little spins. And then when the child wants to proceed, they're just starting to create a new bridge program. But before that, it was nothing. It was all become private lessons. And to be able to skate on a very high level, you need to take a lot of lessons. I mean, you have to skate a lot.
And
you
that
have
gets
to pay
expensive
for that.
too.
It gets very, very expensive. And most of the kids who cannot afford these expenses, or who's talented but cannot afford, they usually quit because it's just nowhere to go, because it's too much for the parents, too much for the kids. But for those now, what we're doing in some of the places we're doing that for a few years now. They create the program where they give the choices, and they separate the groups. So they call it the bridge programs. They separate the group into someone who wants to do that very serious, and who determine, and they give them affordable prices. So more classes you take, the less they cost. So some kids literally living at the rink sometimes, because they skate 6 days a week, few hours a day. They take the classes and might take a couple of 3 times a week private lessons. And this is how they start to progress. And by the age 10, so if they start around 5, by the age 10, 11, maybe 12, you will see if this is really worth it, if this child has a chance. And you just go with that, okay? And with this program, you're not just doing the classes. You invite specialists, you invite judges, you invite technical specialists, you invite great coaches you do seminars. We're trying to create everything so that children will be involved in the sport, and they will understand the difference between recreational sport, which is great too, and the real one. There's figure skating as an Olympic movement.
Right. And, like you guys had to learn too, it is a business. You guys are not just Elena and Andrei. When you guys decided to do the pair skating and take that to the professional level, and you guys had to learn the whole business aspect of it too. You guys got to market yourself. Do you guys go get a manager, someone to handle your, publicity when you guys do go on these TV networks and you're going, oh my gosh, we're from Russia and now we got all these news stations interviewing us. We just won the world championship. That could be intimidating. So you guys do need to, there's that whole process of learning the business aspect of it to, promote yourself and keep getting yourself to the next level, right?
Of course. Yes, definitely. When you start to get involved in serious figure skating is the business. It is like hockey is the business. Soccer, American football, it's all business. Obviously, we have a lot of people involved in our team. We have coaches, we have choreographers, we have manager. Actually, our manager was living in New York City for maybe 20 years. Very famous, Ari Zakarian. He is now managing lots of great skaters and very, very famous manager. So we were his first clients. And sometimes when we're driving through New York, we stay in his small apartment in the Midtown New York. So He's no longer there. He lives in Las Vegas right now. But obviously, we all always remember that small place where we all started. He started as a manager. We started as professional skaters there. So it was really like New York has a lots of things for us. It's always been something through New York, about New York. Shows in New York, yes. Broadway shows in New York, things in New York. You know, we were just married and we went to New York and we walk around in the Central Park and all these places. You know, it was really, we really love that city. We probably will never be able to live there, especially because we have 2 kids to raise. Yeah, but we love it. We love that city very much.
Now, talk to us a little bit about your style and how you guys develop, because it always impressed me, you know, when I was, 10 years old skating around the rink and you guys would be practicing on one side of the rink. And I'll never forget as a kid hearing like, it sounded like a 747 taking off. It was going past me skating and going, there goes Elena and Andrei, and, Andrei twirling and throwing you across the ice. And it's like, for someone young or doesn't know ice skating, they're going, wow, that's impressive. And there's got to be a lot of trust in you, Elena, to, have Andrei be throwing you up in the air, right?
Yes. I have no other choice. I'm already there. Okay. So I have to trust him for sure. What we've been doing right from beginning when we start skating together, we figure out we cannot do everything what other skaters do, because obviously we become the same as 1,000 other teams. So we
start looking like we start trying, new different tricks, on the floor. We watch video, all the time, somebody help us find it, new trick, new lift,
Yeah, so we've been very lucky that we have so many great people around us. We work with the acrobats, we work with the coaches, we work with choreographers, and we will always open to try something new. That was our goal. We obviously have to do some pair skating elements required, like jumps, throws, and twists and depth spirals, but we always try to create, we have no restriction in professional figure skating, so you basically can stand on your head and glide. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, like the pair skating nowadays, the amateur pair skating, what we call it's the one who's preparing for Olympics, it's a USFSA figure skating. They have so many restrictions, so it's really difficult to find new tricks in that system. But what we have no restriction, like do whatever you want to do. So we decided, okay, let's just give it a try. And we got a bunch of different tricks, which is known because we're the one who first did that
right
on the ice. So that's why it's always exciting. Every time we got invitation, it's because it was always exciting to watch us skate, not exactly elements of their pair skating, but elements, it's called adagio style, which is different lifts, different spinning lifts, bounce movements, spinning movements, different depth spirals, tricks, throws, acrobatic things and stuff like that.
There you go.
So that's
awesome.
how we've been doing that for many years.
Right. And you guys have had the, unique opportunity to skate with, Christy Yamaguchi, Michelle Kwan, some of the greatest when we think of the sport of ice skating. And has there been a favorite? Because I know not only have you guys skated with them, but you've gained friendships over the years with these skaters.
Definitely. Well, we've been lucky. You probably don't know that story about us. We've been skating and working in the United States until 2006. In 2006, right after Olympics, we got invitation from Russian producer Ilya Verbuch to skate in his shows. So we went there for first tour in October 2006. Then we stayed for another winter tour in 2007, winter spring tour. And then we had another shows. So in 2007, we actually moved back to Moscow, temporary, moved because we figured out, okay, a couple of years we will be touring there, so it's not worth it to stay here, because in the United States we were here only in summer for Sun Valley's ice show in Idaho.
Gotcha.
So we moved there where my mother was still living there, my brother was still living there, so we had a family there, so it was kind of nice. We did some television shows, Ice Age, pretty famous in Russia, a couple of the show tours with them, and we've been touring with them for the last 10 years. So we've been living in Russia for 10 years until 2017.
Wow.
We did the summer shows, we did the winter shows, tours, everything. So we've been really involved all the way around.
65 cities, you know.
65 cities every tour. So it's
Wow.
been it was very, when interest in figure skating here in the United States went down, in 2006, interest in figure skating in Russia went up. So as a result, we see all these little girls skating and winning the world championship year after year now. The Russian little girls doing that, Olympic champions as well. So this is actual interest in the skating, which is gained in 2006, right after Olympic championship and Olympic Games, in Torino, in Italy. So we've been touring there for 10 years. And at some point in 2017, we figure out that's enough of touring.
Time out, slow down.
That's enough of touring. And we moved to the United States, here to Maryland, and started our teaching career again. And we still do some shows. We still do them, but very rarely, going there pretty much few days, maybe to Europe or to Russia sometimes, do little gigs, come back here to work. So, but that's our journey. So we've been doing lots of traveling, like you said.
You guys are
lots of moving. Yes,
you guys are like the rock stars of ice skating, right? There you go.
Very old one.
Oh no.
Very old.
Well, guys, it was great seeing you, and we'll have to do this again. We'll have to chat soon, and not too far. I'll have to come visit, and we'll have to skate again.
Of course, come to join us. Come and join us.
Just Andrei can't throw me across the ice, all right?
Okay.
We still do that.
Good. Okay.
All right. Well, guys.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
We'll see you. All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.